Hey guys, so today we're going to be making this delicious 2-layer chocolate cake with chocolate ganache frosting on the outside. I'll be teaching you how to make the chocolate cake as well as the rose decorations, so I hope you guys enjoy.
So for the chocolate cake, this is a 1 bowl chocolate cake recipe, which is really nice so I don't have to wash so many dishes. You're going to start by adding in ½ cup of granulated sugar, 2 tablespoons of tightly packed brown sugar. Then you're going to add in, you're supposed to add in ½ cup of sour cream, but I forgot half of the ½ cup of sour cream, which means I only added 1/4 of a cup. So that was bad on my part, but it still turned out fine, so it was just a little less moist. Anyway, you also need a 1/3 cup of vegetable oil, 1 large egg, 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Then you're going to mix that all together with a whisk. Then you're going to add in 3/4 cup of flour, ½ cup of cocoa powder, and ½ teaspoon of baking soda. Then you're going to whisk that all together again. And if I've added that extra 1/4 of a cup of sour cream, I think the batter would have been a little more runny instead of so thick like this. So don't do what I did, guys. Make sure you put the whole ½ cup of sour cream in. So now you're going to pour it into a 6-inch cake pan, lined with parchment paper on the bottom. And just a reminder, this will make 1 6-inch cake where you cut in half to get 2 layers. Then you're going to bake it off at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 minutes, or until a toothpick comes out clean. Now onto the chocolate ganache. You're going to need 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. Put that into a small saucepan and heat it over medium heat until it starts to simmer. Once it starts simmering, take it off the heat and put in 1 bag of chocolate chunks or chocolate chips, whatever you have on hand. That's about 10 ounces. And let it sit there for a minute or 2, and then come back and mix it until you get something smooth and chocolatey. It might not seem like it's coming together, but just keep mixing and you'll eventually get there. It'll look something like this. And now back to the cake. So this is what the cake looks like out of the oven, and I'm using a toothpick just to test whether it's done. And you can see nothing's sticking to the toothpick, so it's done. Now for the hard part, you're going to have to let it cool completely before you take it out of its pan. And the way I took it out was just running a spatula around the edges and taking a cooling rack and flipping the cake onto the cooling rack. And it should come out really nicely since you have that parchment paper on the bottom. You can peel the parchment paper off now. Now we're going to start building our cake. So we're going to first cut the cake in half, and I suggest doing this by using a serrated knife to outline where you're going to cut and then cut through it. Now you have 2 awesomely flat cake layers. And you're going to take the bottom layer and place that on your cake pan, or not cake pan, cake plate, I guess. And then you're going to put a dollop of chocolate ganache and spread it around with your spatula. Once you're happy with the amount of chocolate ganache, you place your second layer on top and put more chocolate ganache on. Spread, spread, spread. Spread it really fast. Look how fast you're spreading. And to make it smooth, you use a spatula and you get an extra bowl. And every time you spread it, you just clean your spatula off on the bowl. Once you're done, place it in the fridge so the chocolate ganache can cool. And it looked kind of weird like this, so I decided to make a drizzle effect using chocolate ganache. And basically what I did was place some chocolate ganache in the microwave for about 10 seconds, and then pour it over the cake and let it drip down the sides. And the way you make the the flowers. This is actually my first time making these chocolate flowers. But I basically refrigerated the chocolate ganache until it became really chocolatey. I mean, not chocolatey. Until it became really stiff and hardened. And you basically use a Wilton 127 tip, I think it is. But it's a big tip that looks like a teardrop. And you basically start piping little petals. Once you finish making the flowers, put them in the fridge to harden. Then use a spatula or some kind of knife. It's actually easier if you use a knife. Place your flowers on your cake however you like it. So yeah, here I use the knife and it's a lot easier to take your flour off your spatula.
So this is the final result. I think it was a pretty decent attempt, considering this is my first time making this cake or decorating any kind of cake actually. Let me know if you guys like more baking videos or if you like crafting videos. I'll see you guys next time.